Hi, Lindsay. How are you? I've got you queued up here. So, I want to take a look at the work, and I want to mention that this looks great. You are definitely headed in the right direction. All right, great job. You're doing everything you need to be doing, paying attention to the grid, trying to build some hierarchy, and drawing attention to the timeline as basically kind of a separate entity. So, good job. I want to go through a little critique here, and I just want to point some things out, okay? And in order to do that, I want to be able to look at the front and the back. So let me see. This is okay. So let's look at the front. All right. So I want you to understand something. Every piece of type in a composition is a mini typographic composition in itself. So everything needs to be treated as a mini composition. For example, take a look at your kerning here. Look how wide that space is and that space is. It almost looks like there's space flowing right through those, okay? So if you back up and squint your eyes, I'm seeing do, ris. You got to open up this space right here. Think about our kerning lessons, okay? Good job picking a typeface that where the X height is relatively the same, but I would adjust that by maybe increasing the size of or decreasing the size of this. Either one, try to get those closer. Now, whenever you adjust the size, make sure that you keep it in scale in its original scale ratio. So in other words, if you're selecting the whole thing, hold your shift key down when you adjust the size, and that'll keep the ratio intact. All right, so, and then this right here it's pretty good placement. But what you've done in essence here in the front is you've set up a grid. And you have to kind of take that grid and pull it over to the back. Let me show you what I mean. In your back, you have this piece, and I'm going to try to line these up together. And I'm just trying to see if I can get them relatively close to the same size, because I want to point your attention to something. Would that be close? I guess that would be close. So does this line right here correspond with the grid where this X line, this X height mean line lies? It should if it doesn't, okay? Because basically you've already demarcated this area, okay? So you're using this rule anyways. If you're not going to use the rule, think about placing the timeline along that line right there. That's an important line right there. Right across there or right across there. You can set the back of your poster based on that information by the way you place your timeline and where you place your timeline, okay? Front of the poster looks good. Watch that kerning. Back of the poster, I don't think it's effective as the front of the poster because of your color choices in general. I'm okay with this. I like the pinks and the whites. I'm not real sure about the gray. I know that it's probably the same color as this, but it certainly doesn't look it. I'm wondering what we can do here. Maybe use stark white or some kind of a, somehow we got to pull more color from the front of the composition to the back of the composition. Okay, speaking of the back of the composition, you've got a couple of things going on here. You've got you got a nice 4-column grid going. Good job. So what I want to do is I want you to think about this. Whenever you have your grids going, you got to do one of two things. You're going to do something called clotheslining or something called skyscraper or skyscraping. Clotheslining is this. It's when you have all of your headlines aligned, like here, but everything is aligned towards the top. So this right here, is this a PDF? No. This right here would be aligned down with this. So you would have this clean top that you have all of your subheads. Conversely, you can rearrange this type somehow, do something with it so that you can get this up here and treat that as a headline. That way you've got 3 good solid headlines. You can put her name up there to give some good solid consistency. But what I want you to do is make sure that your all of your text boxes align at the top here underneath the titles. Okay, now remember, each of these needs to be a little mini composition, right? That means you have to watch your rags. Remember what we learned about rags. Remember what we learned about hyphenation. Go through your books. Go through your reading. These rags are not very, they're not set very well. You want your rags zigzagging like this. You don't want them creating any kind of wavy patterns like that. Or look at this wavy pattern like that, like that. Okay, here's another one. Goes woo like that. Okay, so these regular patterns are something you don't want in typography. You want, again, like that. Okay, I got to take it from here. I mean, I got to let you take it from here because I don't really like to play too much of the art director, but you're doing wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more. Good job, Lindsay. Thank you.